The following program is a production of HEW Entertainment and contains views, opinions, commentaries, and content that may offend some subscribers of this show. Listener discretion is advised.
It's the internet's #1 rated podcast, and it's live. HEW Entertainment Radio is heard throughout social media on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Google+. If you like what you hear, let us know in the comments of our videos on our YouTube channel, and email Jonathan at jonathanclarke2005@hotmail.com. Now, here he is.
Now streaming live on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. HEW Entertainment Radio is inviting you to comment on our video blogs, join the conversation, and like us. So what are you waiting for? Log on and listen now. Don't miss out on any of the action. Download our app on the App Store, Google Play, and the official website of HEW Entertainment. Once you download and install it, you'll get caught up on news, YouTube videos, and more. Download it now.
It's too hard to sleep. I got the sheets on the floor, nothing on me. And I can't take it no more, it's 100 degrees. I got one foot out the door, where are my keys? Cause I gotta leave, yeah. In the back of the cab, I took the drive ahead of time, get me the fast. I got your body on my mind, I want it bad. Ooh, just the thought of you gets me so high, so high. Girl,
I'm your host, Jonathan Clarke, who really appreciates what his fans have been saying in the fallout of the announcement of the Royal Canadian Tour, which is going to be happening in Canada over the next several months. We're going to be seeing Will and Kate heading to places like British Columbia and the Yukon. They're taking the royal family with them on tour, but the thing that I'm concerned about is how we spent over $1.5 through $2 million on this tour and making it happen, when we can be taking that money and putting it towards sending 10,000 underprivileged children to school, providing food for people who don't have it. We can provide a better structured learning environment for people to give them a better grasp and understanding on what the real world is actually like. I mean, there are so many things that we can spend this money on, and there's actually been a list that's been released by sites like thesocial.ca and for other daytime talk shows to put into perspective just how much we could be spending this money on, rather than spending it on a royal tour, something that has happened before. It's not like this is happening for the first time ever and will not happen again. I just am really concerned about what Canada are doing with their financial resources when they can be putting it to use in a far better critical manner. And I think that this is something that we can point the finger of blame towards the economy on, because how crazy is the economy becoming to spend that amount of money on something like a royal tour or something that has happened before? Now, it's not that I don't have respect for people like Will and Kate, the entire royal family, because I do. If I didn't have respect for them, I wouldn't have went on their royal YouTube channel and talked about things like their wedding, the birth of their child. I mean, there was so much that I could have, criticized them about over the years, but I chose not to do it. Rather, I chose to support them like millions of people have. So I have that respect intact for the royal family. What I don't have respect for is the fact that Canada is spending so much money on something it doesn't need to be spending it on, when we could be spending that amount of money on something that could far better us for the future and make us just an in general better country. And I don't think there's anything wrong in having said anything that I have over what's happened over the last couple of weeks with this announcement coming as a huge announcement for places like Canada, British Columbia, and the Yukon. And I think that, this will happen again. So the question is, are we making this decision too soon, too early, and are we just pretty much jumping a gun with the royal tour? I think we are, and I think that we really need to take a step back and put into perspective what's really happening here, because it's not like this is happening for the first time ever. It's not like it's happened before. And it's not like that it's not going to happen ever again, and the opportunity will not present itself, because the royal family loves to do this sort of thing all the time. They are touring all the time. It's just the cost of this. They have pre-booked restaurants. They have pre-booked hotels. And when you really think about it, it's just a financial strain on the economy of Canada and just the country in general, and it doesn't need to be happening. So I somewhat pretty much all the way concur with people on the social.ca and different daytime talk shows that are produced by networks like CTV and E, and I think that they're pretty much on the money with this. They're pretty much hitting the nail on the proverbial head and driving the nail into the proverbial coffin of Canada by saying, we are spending way too much money on something that we don't need to be spending it on. And I think that realization needs to really set in for people who are putting forth this money, presenting this case, and this case really needs to be presented in a really professional manner. And I really appreciate how these daytime talk shows and these different media outlets are raising awareness to what's actually going on. We know the media is going to be all over it. We know it's going to receive a tremendous amount of coverage. Everybody is going to be watching this on TV when it airs, and I think that what we really need to do is just have realization set in and really put into perspective what's really going on here, when this money could be used to benefit us as a country and us coming together to prove that we belong, and belong for a really good reason. And we should be using this money to set a better example than what we are. I think that, it really puts into question, what sort of example are we setting for future generations when we spend this sort of money, this crazy amount of money, this ridiculous amount of money on something that it doesn't need to be spent on. And I don't think, like I said, there's anything wrong in having said what I have about this issue. It's just a matter of this getting on my nerves this much that I've had to come out on my YouTube channel and say what I've had to say. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's an opinion, and everybody is entitled to an opinion. Everybody has a voice, and your voice is worth using if you feel like something is getting on your nerves and something needs to have awareness raised towards it. I think this is just one of these issues, one of these matters that needs to have it raised, an issue raised about, a case presented, if you would, to a higher authority. Because, like I said, 10,000 underprivileged children going to school, having meals provided for them. We could provide housing and sheltering for people who need it. I mean, $1.5 to $2 million. Some people may say, may be crazy enough to say $1.5 to $2 million really isn't that much. And it really isn't when you think about the amount of money that lottery corporations and different fundraisers are raising out there. When you think about the amount of money that we have access to, it's running a lot. But $1.5 through $2 million, when reality sets in, it can go a long way, and it can go further than booking a royal tour. As I mentioned, media outlets have to have flights paid for to cover this sort of thing in the Yukon and British Columbia, because it is quite a ways for them to travel. Also, the royal family has to have hotels pre-booked, restaurants pre-booked, different places they want to tour and see, because they obviously have a specific list of places they want to appear in, and they had to appear for the media, to have interviews done and different photo ops done. I mean, it's crazy the amount of planning that needs to be done for something like this, and the amount of pre-reservations that need to be done, and the amount of money that need to be put down. I mean, you need a major credit card pawn check to have this actually happen. Can you imagine the credit card and the amount of